well. Recordings in progress. I was just made sure of that. So we record these meetings and we end up posting them on the website. So on the myskitrip.ca website. So anybody that hasn't seen this or isn't here now, they're up there so that people can go back and review them, which is good because I've had people over the last several weeks or months ask about, oh, what's the Andorra trip going to be like? I'm like, well, we've got two information sessions on the website, and you can go back and watch those. They're posted right now. And same thing with the sunshine and the results training, everything that we're doing. So this one here, this tonight's session is to cover just
What's
quickly
that?
about
Oh yeah.
sorry, the tonight's session, we're just going to quickly review the Sunshine Village camps, which run the last week of November and the third week of April. And my two very good friends, Ali and Chris, are going to run this meeting with me or sort of for me. Now, probably most of you people already know who they are. Ali Hunter, she works with me all the time up here along the escarpment. She's come with me to camps in Banff several times. She's come to Mount St. Anne with me. She came to Andorra last year. She's come to Chile. This will be her third year coming to Hintertux in Austria. Allie's a level 4 and she's a course conductor, and she's also on the next interski team. She made that this spring. They made that call. And of all the skiers that tried out for the interski team, coast to coast, Allie got the highest marks of men and women. I think that's pretty great. And she's also the first woman from Ontario to represent CSI at interski. And then I have Chris O'Kane. He's my firefighting friend. He's also, people keep on telling me that Ali and Chris are the best looking staff I have, which I think is pretty good for them anyway. Yeah, Chris is also a level 3, or sorry, level 4, and he's a course conductor. He also works a lot with me up here in Collingwood. He's come with me to Mount St. Anne. He's come to Sunshine Village. He's come to Andorra with us. He came there last year, that was our first year to be able to run trips in Andorra, and I knew it was going to be a hit. It was fantastic. Ali and I got married there on the last night, and it was a ton of fun. So I'm going to pass this over to Chris and Ali to take things over from here.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for the intro. Hi, everybody. Great to see some of your faces again. If we can't see you tonight, then hopefully we see you soon out on the hill. We're going to cover just a quick cover of Sunshine. We'll do a little, I'll just give you some info about the fall and the spring camp. So the fall one coming up, as you can see, November 23rd to 28th. Some of the highlights about this camp is obviously it's preseason training. It gives everybody a really good baseline of where you're at coming back to skiing, and then gives you a pretty good opportunity to sort of address some of the goals that you want out of your winter, what you want to work on for, technical aspect throughout your winter. It's a great way to get a little bit of mileage in with some longer runs. Hopefully, they get a dump of snow and we get some long runs available to us to ski. There's no lift lines at all in November, especially. Like you're up, you're down, so lots of opportunity for some great mileage. And just a really good base to start your season. It's super fun. And then the April one, I mean, this is one not to be missed. The conditions are always a complete hit out of the park. Every single run is open, lift is going. We get a real mix of weather usually at that time of year. So we get our bluebird beautiful days. You get days where it's, maybe dump snow and we can get into some powder, into some bumps, into some trees. So there's tons and tons of environment conditions available throughout that trip. And then again, it's just a really nice way to sort of, if that's a wrap up to your season, it's a nice way to kind of wrap up and, kind of go over your goals and where you were at from the beginning of the season to where you're at now at the end of the season, and just be able to, congratulate yourself and take a look at your progression and what you've accomplished and the things that you've changed. And otherwise, it's just like a really amazing time to go on a ski trip at the end of the year in April.
Yeah, and I'll pick up from Ali there again. My name is Chris O'Kane. Thank you, Sandy, for the intro, and hi to everybody in the Zoom. I'm going to go over the logistics of our Sunshine trip and day one getting there. We all meet at the Calgary airport together and shuttle up to Sunshine Village. It's about an hour and a half shuttle ride, and we stop about halfway to stop at a grocery store and a liquor store. If you want to grab some snacks or drinks for the room, that's the time that we can do that. Because once we get to Sunshine Village, we have to take a gondola from the base of the mountain halfway up. And that's where the hotel is, halfway up the mountain. So it's accessed by gondola. So when we get there in the shuttles, we'll load all our stuff in, and the staff load up gondolas with all our suitcases, all our ski gear, and they send it up to our room, get it into our room, and skis into the ski locker, which is great for us. We take the gondola up to the actual Sunshine Village itself, and just the top right photo there, that's Sunshine Village. That's the hotel that we'll be staying at. It's situated at about 2,160 meters of elevation. So we are staying at elevation for the week when we're there. Um, the hotel itself is gorgeous. The rooms have a beautiful view, very spacious, whether you're in a single room or a double room, and they have lots of storage to spread your ski clothing out for the week. So it's really nice, nice there. The hotel accommodations also, we have the usual hot tub for after the ski day. They've got a decent sized workout room if you're interested in that. They also have a spa that you can pay for some massages if you'd like. And then they have a few nice little restaurants in there. So the one main restaurant, the bottom left photo, you can see um, that's a dining restaurant. And then in the back, we have a bit of a private room. So all our meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in our own little private room. But this main part of the restaurant, gorgeous, looks out over all of Sunshine, has a huge stone fireplace in there. Uh, and there's a bit of a lounge cocktail bar. So after skiing for some après cocktails, it's a very popular spot for people to hang out and discuss the day on snow. As I said, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are included. Breakfast and lunch is going to be a mix between ordering and buffet. Just the buffet helps us get going back on snow a little bit quicker. And dinner time, we order ahead, and that gets served to us every night. And then that'll just walk us into the training when we're out there. You're going to be with the same instructor for the whole week when we're out there. We get split up into groups, and the day kind of runs 9 a.m. on snow, 9 to 11:30 we're on snow training again with one of us, break for lunch, and then we come back out and we go 12:30 to 2:30, 3 o'clock. We're going to be doing daily video review with you. Sometimes that's done in the aforementioned cocktail bar during après. Or we do it over dinner time. Those video reviews get done and they get sent off to you each day. Also, when you are at Sunshine Village, we have the option just outside the hotel. There's Trapper's Bar, which is a pretty cool log cabin ski bar that they have there. Full pub food, drinks. They have a nice outdoor patio. If it's sunny weather in Banff, it is nice and acceptable to go in your ski boots and have a drink on the patio, which is always a fun thing to add into a ski trip. They also have gift shops there that can be pricey in the hotel, but just down from the hotel, they also have a little shop where you can buy extra clothes or gloves if you have forgotten something. That's it for the Sunshine details we have that we'll go over. If we have more questions about Sunshine, like Sandy mentioned, we have done a few other more in-depth reviews on our Sunshine trip, but we can also answer some questions when we get to the Q&A. So if you are going on the Sunshine trip or you're curious about it and you have more questions, jot those down or fire them in the comment section now. And then at the end of the video, we'll come back and we can answer those questions.
Okay, we're into sort of the bulk of, this session, just to talk to you a little bit about the results training that we offer throughout the ski season. It runs about 13 weeks. So middle of December to end of March, Sandy?
Yeah, very end of March.
Um, so typically, our beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, is held at Blue Mountain. For the first 4 Wednesdays, we typically do Hump Day Bump Day at Mount St. Louis, or wherever the bumps are available and they're best. After those 4 weeks, usually Blue has some bumps, so we'll sort of move over to ski at Blue or maybe even any other resorts that are offering bumps. And then Friday, we're at Craigleith typically. Um, so that covers off, kind of the week. It's a similar structure to, all of our days that we ski together. We meet on snow 9 o'clock, ski till 11:30, have lunch, and then we're back out till about 2:33. So we do get a full day of skiing in. We do video review with everybody that we ski with. And then I just want to flip to the next slide to talk about, our goals of our skiers a little bit. So my ski trip kind of encompasses like a wide range of people that we accommodate on the hill. So that can span from anybody who is just like really passionate, avid skier and just wants to get some ski improvement out of things, to people who really want to build their confidence so they can sort of push their limits and maybe explore other ski areas in the world, bigger mountains, whether that's out west. And then that pairs really well with some of the My Ski trips that we offer. So going over to Europe, skiing some like really different resorts that, maybe you didn't feel super confident going to before, but with some consistent training, that confidence will build and you'll feel more, you push yourself a little bit to try something new. And then the certification prep. So people who are interested in getting on or being on a certification pathway, and really that doesn't, to us, it doesn't matter. Whether it's CSIA, PSIC, whatever it is, we want to accommodate that and make sure that you get to your goals. And we can switch over. Sandy, this is you.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I just want to talk about the staff that we have. Here's a picture from last March when we were in Andorra. I've got Chris there, Ali, Casey Bowie. So you guys know, I'm sure Casey's going back to Interski again. This will be his fourth time actually. Good looking guy beside Casey is myself, and there's Mike Schneider beside him. So all these group, they work with us along the escarpment here, some more than others because some are away. We also have Russ Wood. He's from Whistler that skis with us. Meredith Yeoman. She's from Dagmar, and that's where I grew up skiing. She does a great job. Anybody that skied with Meredith knows that. My Allison here, she's come along and started working some of the camps. I'm fortunate to get the best of the best staff because they've had over the years, I've had over 35 staff come and work with us on these camps from all across the country. So I'm able to get the best coaches. Now, obviously, the coaches they're all level fours. They need to be great skiers, whatever. That's great. But what's more important than that is that they're really good teachers. They're really good with people, and doing this for as long as I've done it, I've really gotten to figure out who the best teachers are and who maybe aren't quite there yet. And also, even beyond that, what's more important to me is like we spend the whole week, whether it's a 5 or 6 or a 7 day camp, we spend the whole week together. We all stay in the same hotel. We all eat meals together. And nothing makes me happier than watching, Allie with her group at her table, and they're all laughing their heads off about whatever it is they're talking about. Because what's important to me at the end of the day is when people look back at the trip, they say, man, that was a great time. I had so much fun with Sandy or Allie, whoever, Mike. Just having great memories come back from that. And the way that we run our trips, that's a little bit different than others. It's not like most of us have participated in CSIA courses in the past. Growing up, we all have, and it's not like a CSIA course where we have a set list of content that has to come out. This is what we cover on day one in the morning. This is what we cover on day three in the afternoon, step, step, step. With our program, it's really built on the needs of the group. And we do it by getting ski time in and guided mileage and working with skiers. We don't need to rush through things, from one day to the next. And I say the biggest thing that we do is we build on strengths rather than highlighting what people are, I remember for years I used to run all the CSI programs in Ontario. And at course conductor training, I'd play a video of a skier coming down and I'd say, I'd pause it, I'd say, who has something to say about this skier? And hands would shoot up across the room. He's too far back. He's too stiff. He's tippy. He's twisty. And I'd pause it and say, okay, stop, stop, stop. What do you like about that person's run? And I think too often ski instructors focus on what's wrong rather than what's going well and building on what's well. And I think the crew that we've assembled, they do a really good job with that. We spend a lot of time skiing with each other, working on each other's skiing and figuring out what the best way to deal with groups of skiers is, and that's what we try to pass on to everybody that comes on one of our trips. Okay?
And to go on from what Sandy said, just what gives us that My Ski trip difference? So I think we really strive hard to create a fun and inclusive student-centered learning environment. We have an experienced coaching staff that Sandy just ran through, and each one of the staff uses an adaptive teaching approach that suits the individual learning styles and their needs and their body mobility and what they can do. What we also do, and it's been mentioned earlier, we do video review and narration, and we're going to do a little bit of video review later on in our meeting here, just to give you an example of what it looks like and the simplistic language that we're going to use to help optimize the understanding and make sure it's applicable to you when you're skiing. We use, as Sandy just mentioned, we use lots of positive reinforcement because we understand that builds confidence, comfortability, and that's where learning can become fun and it can really stick and we can make those measurable changes. We do a progression-based teaching that is simple and relatable, and we're there to continue to build and grow with you. So just in the next slide here, how we get those results. We're going to be building an individual plan for each one of our skiers. Again, we have consistency with the instructors, and like Sandy mentioned as well, we talk amongst each other too. So when we are teaching each other, we're working on this. We're working on this plan together, and we make that plan by skiing with you in different environments while we get to know your goals, your learning styles, your current understanding. We watch your skiing for successes and how you're achieving your goals that you're setting out, and how we can help you make some measurable changes so that you can feel confident in your goals that you're setting out. And it all starts with an assessment. So anytime we go out skiing, we're assessing and we're constantly assessing our students. And we're looking for, what's happening? Why is that happening? How are we going to change it? And why is it important to you, the student in the class? So it sounds like a lot that we're assessing for, but that's why our assessments take time. And we really want to build an understanding of what your skis are doing on the snow, and what you would like your skis to do based on the goals that you set out. And then we can work with you and with your body to create measurable outcomes that you can see yourself and you can feel confident in and really carry those into your skiing. And that's how we'll go into our improvement.
Okay, so if we're talking about improvement, what we really want to do is build skills to efficiently use the right mechanics to enjoy your day of skiing with some endurance. So skiing efficiently. So I kind of like to think about it as we all leave skiing with, a feeling at the end of the day, whether we felt like we had a great day, it felt good, the weather was great, I felt like I was doing this in my skiing. And sure, not every day is a win, but it still comes with a feeling. So I mean, like we said before previously, we all like to teach our way, not necessarily a specific CSIA or PSIC manual. We want to teach our way that best suits you. So that's also taking a look at what your learning style is to get the best improvement that you can that matches your goals and what you want out of it. With saying that, we all believe it's really, really important to keep it simple and really relatable, so you can best understand it, and we can help build basically your skiing IQ so you can have a better understanding of how skiing works, how it's going to work for you, and what sort of improvements we see that are going to best fit what you want out of it. So with the improvement part, that leads us in nicely to, also building in with some confidence. The more we improve a skill that we're working on, the more confident that we're going to feel about it, which is great. With the confidence piece, we're really mindful at taking an approach of, trying to help you build like a mind to body connection, and being aware of any mental blockers that you may come to the hill with. And that could be an injury, a past injury that maybe you're aware of that affects your skiing or doesn't affect your skiing. It can just be weather. If weather sets in and it gets really foggy and there's really low light, that often affects people's confidence skiing. So we have lots of different ways of working with that to help you get out of sort of that external, like, I'm afraid of skiing. Um, it could just be the pitch of a hill. Could be the start of the season. You're like, I don't want to ski blacks. And then a path, that we work with you with your goals of getting you to the point of the end of the season to ski a black, and help build that confidence to get you there. So, if we can help increase people's confidence, hopefully you want to expand, you know, your skills a little bit more, whether that's on a trip or maybe it gives you the confidence to decide to get a certification. So the certification piece, like I said before, is we're here to help you on your pathway of what you want to achieve. Everybody's on a different time schedule for this, and we're happy to accommodate those things. Whether it's a level 2, level 3, level 4. And again, we are totally open to whatever pathway you choose to go down. We want to make sure that we're hitting the marks with you as to what the expectations are from any organization for you to come out of that being successful.
Yeah.
We're going to jump over to some video assessments now. So Allie's going to stop sharing her screen. I'm going to jump over to mine. And we're just going to take you through a couple videos of how we see skiers and then how we do our video review. Sandy, do you have this up on your screen?
Yeah, I used this one last year, and last year the video was a little bit choppy, so I wanted to use this one again. This is our friend Gunter, he's from Mount St. Louis. He's not a young spring chicken. But he's a very experienced skier and just a all-round good egg. I love Gunter. And skiing at Mount St. Louis day in and day out, there's not that much of a challenge there. It's always perfectly groomed and manicured. And so this is Gunter skiing at Blue Mountain. And when I watch Gunter ski here, uh, he's got a decent stance. He's got, not too narrow, not too wide, but he's a little bit stiff and rigid, and he lacks a little bit of rhythm. Like when I watch the timing of his pole swings, it's not moving, and then all of a sudden it moves right at the end. And I thought, something simple for Gunter to help him ski better that's gonna bleed across all of his skiing, not just this one run. So this run here that we're watching, that was filmed over the Christmas holidays or the holiday break. And we skied together every week, I think Tuesday it was, for about 7 or 8 weeks. And Chris, if you pull up the next video, this is Gunter in the middle of January after like 4 or 5 days of skiing. And before you press play there, Chris, well, yes, there you go. So this is Gunter. It's the exact same pitch, and there's actually even more challenging conditions here. Like the light's a little bit better, but there's clumpy snow. And I just wanted to get Gunter using rhythm and mobility to allow him to steer through the different conditions more easily. So if we play press play here, Chris. So you can see the difference in Gunter's skiing. And this is just after 4 or 5 days skiing. And the easiest way to get him to make these changes was I just had Gunter follow me right behind me, mirroring my turn shape, the timing, the mobility patterns I was using, the when he made his pole plant so that his poles were constantly moving. And here is great skiing. Like you can see as he's starting his turn, his legs are unwinding and his feet are steering away from him, giving him something to balance against in the snow. And that effort of letting the legs bend as pressure builds, it really helps him to steer the feet, especially in this snow where it's a little bit thicker snow than the previous runs that we were watching. And this, I love these two videos of Gunter. These are on the website because it's such a big change in such a short amount of time. And the thing that got him to change were simple, direct things to practice. And that's what I think got him the really big changes. Yeah, way to go, Gunter.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of video review with Katie, who we had in Chile this summer. Katie has got, she's got some goals. She wants to get her level 3. She's really passionate about it and like really driven to work hard. So I love that about her. And when I watch her skiing, there's lots that I love to watch, but most of all, I see opportunity, a lot of opportunity for her to take what she's doing really well and make some changes along the way to excel so she can get to her goals. So, when I'm assessing somebody like Katie, I really want to have a look at, you know, are her skis, what are they doing on the snow, and are they matching the goal that she wants out of it? So, I can see right away that there's something with the timing of her balance, especially at the top of the turn, which leads to, a loss of grip and sort of that outside ski slipping away, kind of fall line to bottom of the turn down. So, we came up with a plan. I talked to her a lot about, the timing of balance and when and where and how to do it all. So, working through some new body movements was really going to help Katie. So, what I really wanted her to do was align her hips over top of her middle of her foot higher up in the arc. So, coming out of the transition of the turn, I wanted her to have better alignment through her hips over her midfoot and see if that helped her with rolling on or getting on that new outside ski in a better position of alignment of balance so that she would have better contact with her whole ski all the way throughout the turn. So we can have a look at a video later on in the week. Another thing that I'd noticed earlier was, her turn shape was quite shallow and she was consistently picking up speed. So that, tells a bit of a story there. So I had her narrow her corridor, round out her turns quite a bit, which was difficult. But we kept working on it and working on it and just changing the timing here. So really, really bringing some awareness to when she was shifting her weight, how she was using her body to do that, and how she could stay connected to that outside ski helped lead her to getting some really big results later in the week. I mean, it's a long path. That is something very difficult, to get a change out of right away. But we had a lot of success with Katie, and she was really happy about it by the end of the week.
Awesome. So I'm going to run through a video review as well now. Oh, there we go. Again, I have fun watching these videos and watching Sandy and Allie go through their video assessment. Gets me excited for the ski season. So I was limited with the amount of ski videos that I had access to. So Sandy thought it would be a good idea if I went through a little video review of myself skiing. Myself and all the coaches included, we all continue to work on our own skiing as well. And we use the same assessment lens that we do with any of our students as we work on ourselves too. So I'll look at the video playing here. I'm skiing at Blue Mountain. This is a blue cruisy run. I'm looking to get increase speed across the fall line through rhythmical turns. I'm looking to get lots of grip and high edge performance uh, in order to create some pressure and build some pressure to increase my speed across the hill. Um, as I watch this, I've just marked this video up a little bit here to kind of show some of the things that I see. I'm going to relate it to my goal of creating speed across the hill through some good grip. So the first thing I see, I'm watching for my skis staying parallel. And as they continue in through the turn, again, I've marked this up. I can see as my hips and my center of mass move inside too far, I start to lose balance. And you can see the blue lines are no longer parallel. So my skis are drifting away from each other. As that carries on through the turn, my feet or my balance ends up behind me. So I'm out of balance at the end of the turn. So I'm really dealing with a lack of balance on the inside ski because I'm moving in too much. So what I want to try to do is get a little bit more centered over top of my skis at the start of the turn so I can initiate the turn more in a more balanced position, maintain my grip on the outside ski, use that to increase speed and direct those forces that I create and direct them across the hill. So I'll play through my after video that I'm working on. So just from more of a chase cam now. So again, I'm looking for those rhythmic turns. I'm looking for speed generated across the hill. Those were and more edge control. Those were the goals that I set out for myself. I'll let this video finish playing through. Again, this is at Blue Mountain, a similar-ish run, just on the other side. This is over at the north. And then, again, I threw it through program just to slow it down a little bit here. And I've also marked it up. So again, I'm looking for the first thing, our parallel skis. When we relate this to the goal and what we assessed, I saw my skis losing parallel and losing grip. On this freeze frame here, again, I can see that the skis remain parallel. I can see on the orange lines, my hips and my shoulders stay parallel together as they move into the arc. And that balance is directed on that long orange line out to the outside ski. The two blue lines kind of show the parallel edge angles. So again, as I'm increasing edge performance, I want my two skis to be parallel both in a lengthways, but also how they are up on edge. As a result, I'm staying more balanced. I don't see that outside ski slipping away. The skis stay parallel, and I generate speed from one side of the turn to the other. Not much speed when it's in halftime, though.
Yeah.
There we go. So I will stop sharing the screen, and then we're going to go back. I think we just have a few more slides to go through, and then some cool sunshine videos.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is sort of my mantra. You know, don't practice something until you get it right. You keep practicing it until you don't get it wrong anymore. And that's you know, for years and years, all the courses that I taught for the CSIA over the many years, you'd see somebody they'd get their level 3, huge accomplishment, well done. And you know, quite often skiers would their best day of skiing they ever had was when they had that whatever level 3 exam. And then they go away from that, but they don't continue to practice that got them the skill set that got them to the level 3 exam in the first place. And then it all falls apart. I like seeing skiers that when you know they achieve something, they keep on working on that thing the way they worked on it so that they own it. They own the way they got those changes rather than renting the way they got those changes. And that I think is a big thing as far as getting long-standing ski improvement with any of the skiers that we ski with, right? So with the you know the results training that we run, this is the stuff from Mondays through Fridays during the week. We don't charge a membership fee. There's other programs out there that they'll charge you whatever, a few $100 to sign up so that you can take sessions or lessons with them. We've got flexible registration. Like, there's lots of people that come just for one day to get a tune-up. Most people come for 5, 6, or even 11 or 12 days in a row. Some people that are really focusing, like we have, a few people, I know Joe Saliba was one. He got his level 3 a few years ago, and he skied with us every day, every single day. He took the season off teaching skiing because his goal was to finish his level 3 certification, which he did. Same thing with Paul Naismith. He's another one who, Paul's a guy, Ponytail Paul, we all know him as. He he'd been trying for his level 3 for many, many years, getting frustrated. His marks weren't changing much each year. And he came and skied with us, and he skied, like 3 or 4 days every week for the whole season. And at the end of the season, he passed his level 3. Now, level 3 is just one measure. It might just be that you want to get better at skiing steeps. You want to get better at skiing deep snow or bumps or anything like that. But the whole thing is consistency and being able to spend multiple days. So you see there's a by November 21st, that's when I do discounts up to. After that, there's no more discounts. You pay full price. Um, Allison already talked about the location, so we can go to the next slide here, please, Ali. Yeah, so a single day, it's 219 bucks plus HST. And that's for people typically that just want to do a day or two or three here and there. And there are lots of people that do that. Typically, people do at least 6 days. That's $199 a day. And then there's some people that take it a little bit further and they do like every Tuesday for the whole season or every Wednesday for the whole season. So that's 11 or more days and that's 179 bucks a day. So it does get cheaper the more days you do. I just need to have commitment from people by November 21st because I in turn have to commit to people like Allie or Chris or Mike or Rick or Casey or on and on. I need to commit to them so they can count on a work schedule that I create for them and provide for them as well. Okay. Now, as far as the easiest way to get in touch with us is either by email. It's myskitrip at gmail.com. That's my email. Allison here, the current wife, she's put together a really nifty Instagram for us. It's my_ski trip. We have a Facebook group as well, myskitrip.ca, and of course, there's the website. The other way to reach us is just to give me a call or a text directly. I don't know if you have that number on the slide there anywhere. Anyway, it's on the website everywhere. Anybody that's ever sent me an email, I reply, and my contact details are right along the bottom of the email there. Okay. What do we say here? Okay, does anybody have any questions based on what we've talked about so far tonight?
Hey, Sandy, a quick question. It's Bob Vogel. I saw on your calendar that you've got some early season training days at Blue, kind of mid-December, and it looked like that was a separate package. But if we've signed up for 10 or more days, can we use some of them for that?
Yeah, I mean, there's the first one that we do. It's at Mount St. Louis. What are the dates of that? Hold on. Yeah, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at Blue. It's sort of a season kickoff camp. So that one, I try to get people to come for all 3 days just to get going. It's at Mount St. Louis, which is, it's not like skiing at, Revelstoke, for example, but it's a great place to get warmed up for the season. And anybody, I'm sure we've all skied at Blue Mountain. Yeah, it's the 17th, 18th, 19th of December, and that's at Mount St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's sort of the kickoff, and then after that we do. Allison's just showing me the calendar here. Yeah, December 20th. It's all on the website. If you go to the myskitrip.ca and click on the results training tab, it all comes down. It's actually done in a calendar format, so you can see it. So you can see like what Also, that's that Wednesday, Thursday, and they're all laid out right there.
And when you did ask, are there a variety of groups levels on all the days?
Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Ann Lloyd has asked, are there a variety of groups and levels on all the days? Yeah, there's 2 or 3 groups each day. So that's that's and the groups that we run are small. We do, 4 to 6 people per group. The only reason why it would be more than that is if, I'm expecting 3 staff and somebody's kid is sick and they can't show up. So, but that's happened like once or twice over the entire time we've been doing this. So yeah, we're pretty flexible that way. Yeah. Catherine Holland, where's Catherine's question? Is she asking on this?
She's got her hand raised.
Where are you, Catherine? You have to unmute yourself.
I mean, sorry.
There you
I
go.
I always miss buying that Mount St. Louis Flex 8 or whatever it is, pass.
Right.
Um which one is it? It's like Flex double. Like what would we need? How many days?
I don't
Like
know.
there's a Flex quad, Flex 6, Flex 8. 8 is like $676. I thought it was kind of cheaper, but
Catherine, honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, like if you give me a call tomorrow before lunch, I can give Jim over at Mount St. Louis a call and he can walk me through the ticket.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never bought it. Okay, thanks.
yeah, no worries.
Catherine, I did get a text message from Mount St. Louis Moonstone at 6 p.m. tonight, right before this started. I didn't read it, but I'm reading it now. And there's a Flex 8 lift ticket starting at 169 HST. That's all the text message tells me. It's good until October 23rd, I think, to buy that.
There's skiing before October 23rd?
I think to buy the pass, maybe? I'm not sure. I didn't know I got text messages from Mount St. Louis until 6 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, that's the Flex double. Does that mean you can only ski twice?
That one, yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess.
Yeah, give me the day tomorrow,
You
Catherine.
need more than twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find out from Mount St. Louis tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any other questions or?
Hey Sandy, it's Dan. How you doing?
Hey, Dan. Dan's one of our friends that came to Chile this summer, and he was like us. He got stranded in Bogota though.
Hey Jess.
Yeah.
Hey Ali. Had a great time in Chile, by the way. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Um, the dates for Sunshine, November 23 to 28. Is that the on snow dates or is that the whole trip dates?
23 I think is the Sunday. Let me just check here. Yeah, 23 is the flight, the day that everybody flies out to
Okay.
Calgary Airport. And then we ski Monday to Friday, the 24th to the 28th, and we fly home that day as well. We fly home at like I think it's like 6:30 we take off. Or
I
might
was late on the 28th.
Yeah, like we ski until 12:30 or so on the Friday.
Okay.
And I mean, some people show up early and ski a few days before we start. Some
Yeah.
people stick around and ski a few days after. But yeah, those are the 5 days on snow. We just give I count Sunday as one of the days because it's a travel day to get there.
Yeah. Okay. And what are the April dates?
April dates are, one second. They're the 19th to the 24th.
Okay. Same plan?
Same plan, yeah. Get there on the Friday. Sorry, get there on the Sunday, ski until the Friday, and then we head out. The last couple years we've done it the week before, but this year we're going to Finland for the first week of April. So
Yeah.
poor us, right? But
Right, I know it's
the thing
it's
about
a sacrifice, but I know.
the thing about Sunshine, like I've skied there on July 1st before.
Yeah.
They actually opened a couple years ago on July 1st just because it had so much snow. But they stay open every year right up until our May 2-4 weekend. And
Yeah.
the snow's perfect. Like it's like midwinter skiing. The only reason why they don't stay open any longer than that is because the skier visits are very, very like low.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, by that time, people are sort of thinking it's summer shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
For the winter session with my ski trip at Blue, for doing the full, like like let's say every Tuesday sort of thing.
Yep.
That's 11 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And people that sign up for all, I don't know, 12 Tuesdays or whatever, if, say there's a bad weather day or the driving is shitty and you don't want to drive up to, up the 400 or something, like I'm very easy to work with. Like as long as you let me know,
Yeah.
holy shit, Sandy, I have a chest cold. No problem. You can come another day during the week. I just need to know all these things I need to know in advance so I can plan for staff and for other people changing in and out, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not a huge corporation. It's not like I have, 9 or 10 groups showing up every day, every week. It's 2 or 3 groups, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy I wouldn't say it's easy to manage. It's easy to manage as long as I stay organized. And that's one thing that I do is I stay organized. And I just need people to help me stay organized by fulfilling commitments of, yes, I'm
Yeah.
going to be there or I'm not going to be there, whatever. So,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to set up my schedule for the season. So scheduling vacation time and all that stuff. So
right.
Tuesdays look good for me so far. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Okay. Okay. Any other questions about the videos or anything like that? We can wrap this up. We've got a couple videos that Chris has that he can play, and one is from Sunshine last November when we were there. So the first one is from Sunshine in November. This is then. Jackson was our magical camera guy there. He's got 360, I think it's called, Jackson. So this is Jackson filming. This is Rick Cook, Allie, and myself skiing. This is on the Divide, it opened really early last year, but man, the skiing was great. It was like midwinter up there the whole time we were there. Yeah. And the view, I mean, like, what can you say about the view? And then this next one is another one Jackson did for us. It's our official cameraman for my ski trip. And this is one from behind. That's Allie, Russ Wood, and myself in front. And it's just a really neat perspective um, that Jackson gets. He's actually in a little a jet vest that lifts him off the snow, and he holds the camera up and shoots down at us. It's incredible. Yeah. And these are all things like I say, Allie, my Allie, she's done a great job with the Instagram stuff. Like everybody said for years, oh, you really got to get on Instagram, but I'm just not that technically savvy to be able to do that. But my lovely wife here has done a great job putting that together, and she stays on top of it. I'm sure you guys see if you follow us on Instagram, she puts up posts every few days, and they're all about the ski trips, about the training. They're great videos and pictures. So yeah, if you don't already follow us on Instagram, if you are on Instagram, it's my_ski trip. And if you want to follow my dog, he's Reader the Noof, Reader the Noof. Kurt, you got a question? Kurt Neidinger?
Yeah, not hi Sandy.
Hey.
Not really a question. I just want to point out that during this meeting here was all about the skiing and the ski improvement. I'd like to point out to everybody that if you ski with Sandy, for me anyways, if I ski with Sandy, he gives the most thorough example of a well-run lesson. So for any of those that want to, get any kind of certification, the example of the way he runs a lesson, does a lesson, is second to none. And it's just, to me, it was a great help in achieving my certifications on the teaching side. I'm not sure about the mustache though.
Ah, it's a thing. Hey, hold on, Kurt, check it out. Look, Chris got the same thing.
That's too much.
The story behind this stupid mustache was that when we got stuck in Chile for a week or so, I said, I'm not going to shave my beard until I get my refund from Air Canada. Well, it was driving me crazy. And I ended up just shaving this off. and I have this. I'm gonna go out as Dr. Phil for Halloween. Yeah.
A question in the chat.
Question in the chat.
For Sunshine, do you recommend powder skis at the end of November? Are we able to rent powder skis at the hotel?
We can for Sunshine in November. Like last year, yeah, I used my powder skis of the 5 day skiing. I used them 2 or 3 days there because we had a ton of snow. A few years before that, we had very, very firm conditions and not a lot of snow. But the nice thing about Sunshine is they do rent skis right at the very top. Right at the top of the gondola, they have a Solomon tent. And we have people that come on the Sunshine trip that don't even bring skis. They just rent skis there. And if you rent skis there, you can go from like a all mountain ski to a powder ski, whatever it is that the conditions call for. So that's a nice thing. Every time I go skiing anywhere, I always bring two pairs of skis. I bring a fat pair and I bring a skinny pair. And that's just so I have something there. I know that if I don't bring a fat pair, there's going to be a ton of snow. So,
Murphy's Law.
yeah, Murphy's Law. Yeah. Hey, there's Spencer. Spencer has a mustache. Good on you, Spencer.
Hey, go Jays, go.
Nice. Hey, who
The
wants
heck?
But
Who wa-
seriously though, if anybody's on the fence, just give it a try.
Я
Just
клянусь
sign up
вам,
for
я
a day.
выкину все нахер из этой комнаты, если мне не будет порядка через 10 минут.
1 second? Say that. Sorry, Spencer, say that again.
Know if anybody's sitting there on the fence about the results training. I mean, what's cool, like Sandy said, you can book a day, just book a day. Never know if you're going to have fun, who you're going to meet. Like I've met some great people to this day. So
Yeah, Spencer's a level forward. Spencer just got back from his first season in New Zealand and did over 200 days of skiing this year. So good on you, Spencer. But Spencer got his level 4 3 years ago, Spencer? Yeah, 3 years ago. And Spencer's come and worked with us a few times, and he's great. He'll be back for sure. But yeah, he's great. He's a great guy, and yeah, good on you. Okay, guys. Well, if no other questions, it's been just about an hour. I want to thank everybody for taking the time tonight to do this. I want to thank Ali and Chris for you guys. Thanks for pulling the line on this one. I appreciate it. Good to see everybody's faces, and let me know if anybody wants to come to Sunshine because I do need to firm numbers up with them right now. I've got 3 groups right now. I'd like to get 4 there if at all possible. And yeah, let us know about the results training as soon as you can. And also email me if you have or call me directly if you have any questions. Okay, team?
Great.
Thanks so much.